I work for DigiCert, and I'm the Executive Vice President of Emerging Markets over there. DigiCert is a world leader and one of the biggest providers of SSL TLS, as well as other PKI-based digital certificates in the world. Just to give you a little snippet, it protects almost 93% of the encrypted e-commerce traffic, 97 of the top 100 banks, almost 80%, 89% of the Fortune 500 companies. The work that I do at Emerging Markets is looking at the markets beyond the SSL TLS world and to look at the applications of PKI in the Internet of Things world, blockchain, other emerging areas. So one of the key requirements of Internet of Things is really around the securing all the Internet of Things devices and addressing the key needs of identity. Internet of Things has an identity problem. And what PKI can do is solve authentication, encryption, as well as data integrity issues around the Internet of Things. So the DigiCert provides, as one of the market leaders and the world leaders in the area of PKI, can address those key needs. So if you think about all these things, it's almost like three legs of a stool, right? So mutual authentication and identity is when you're talking, the devices are talking to each other, or users are connecting with the devices, they need to authenticate just to make sure like who is the right people and the right devices have access to the data. The second leg of the stool is really around encryption. When data is transiting and between the different devices, we want to make sure that we're protecting against any man-in-the-middle type of attack, so the data needs to be encrypted. And the third leg of the stool is really data integrity, because when we are having over-the-air updates, and we want to make sure that the code which is executing is actually the right code and not malware, and that's the third issue, which is data integrity. And so DigiCert provides PKI solutions which address these three key needs for the IoT in helping secure IoT. A couple of other people are presenting over here from DigiCert. The key things we want to highlight is there's a lot of innovative solutions and IoT-related devices and products over here. But one of the key things is that security should not be an afterthought. Security really needs to be designed in when thinking about building these solutions, because it's not just about protecting your data and security breaches. Many times, not thinking about security leads to safety issues. So security and safety in the Internet of Things world is interconnected, because let's just think about healthcare, right? So you have data access issues, which is security, but you also have the pacemaker in your heart has a security breach. It can lead to very dire consequences. So we want to make sure that people are really thinking about designing in security. The second thing we want to make sure is they're thinking about all the three aspects that I highlighted, which is authentication, encryption, and data integrity. And the PKI is really a proven, scalable, interoperable solution which can address needs of swaths of connected devices and how they work together. And as DigiCert, we can help really with a consultative approach in connecting those pieces and helping the customers. My favorite case study, which is being presented over here, is about the Cable Labs case study. So DigiCert is helping secure actually billions of credentials onto those devices as certificates. And what we are trying to make sure is that the content providers as well as the service providers can rest assured that the content is protected and it's mutually authenticated. So that's been going on for quite a lot of years, even before Internet of Things was actually a word, since 2003. And this showcases how the encryption and authentication, data integrity help solve a critical digital rights management issue. Blockchain is a very interesting phenomena, which is, I believe it's not there yet, but it's definitely going to change things radically. And that's why we are very actively working in this area, is because one of the key problems blockchain does need to address is the identity issues. There's so many transactions on the blockchain, but who exactly is making the transaction? And in a lot of different use cases like smart contracts, etc., we want to solve those issues. So we're working with different standard bodies and different entities in addressing and thinking about what exactly is the kind of solutions we can provide. The most favorite part at IoTWorld for me has been every single step you take, you're actually talking to really interesting applications which are going to change the world and the way we live, and talking to incredibly smart people with so many different ideas. Some solutions are available now, and some solutions are going to be available in a few years, and some maybe 5 to 10 years. But all of them are radically going to change the way we live in this world. So that's my favorite part of IoTWorld. Essentially, I would say the three things I hope people take away. The first one is security should not be an afterthought, because if you're thinking about many of the major attacks which have happened is because people are not thinking about security, and with IoT it gives people an expanded attack surface and they breach the networks. So security needs to be designed in for every single device that people are hooking up into the IoT world. And security and safety are interconnected, so we really want to make sure that we are making sure IoT networks are safe as well as secure. It needs to be designed in right from the beginning. The second thing I want people to take away is PKI by itself is a scalable, standardized technology which has existed for years, which addresses some of the key needs in this in the IoT world for different verticals, whether you're talking about automotive, healthcare, industrial, and it's again addressing the three key needs, the three pillars around authentication, encryption, and data integrity. And finally, people, when they're thinking about these security issues, what their expertise in designing these IoT solutions and really working with experts in designing these, and as DigiCert, we can help provide some of those solutions.